Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're gonna see the clone object module as part of our XAF module API of the week. I wanted to do it in order, so the next one will be chart module, but I decided to do the clone object module first because I think the chart module I can do it together with dashboard module and make a more comprehensive video. Also, this week has been crazy with some contact tracing work that we have been doing, so this model is perfect, quick, straightforward, and to the point. So let's get to it. So if we open the clone object module, first thing to notice is like it doesn't support Entity Framework right now because it is implementation heavily relying on XPO. But if you use Entity Framework, pretty sure that you can post a support ticket and they will help you right away. Also, Entity Framework has some ways to deal with this implementation. Besides that, is fairly simple. You can check the documentation, but I think that it's better to show it as well as jump right to code. The first thing that we want to do, we in our last video we added the modules through the wizard, so it's time that we start doing it to the module designer. So let's open it and let's add it to the required modules types. Let's copy this and let's get the right clone object module. So it's clone. So let me check what is the namespace of the clone object module. So right here, this one. So let's first add a reference and let's search for it. So it should be the no, actually the last one, 19.2.4. Okay, after that we can actually add it. Clone object dot clone object module, and that's it. With that line, we can run the application and we'll see it in action. The clone object module pretty much what it does is add a new controller to our application that it has a clone object action. It has an action that it allows us to do a clone of the record. For that, we go to the model and you see that we have a new is clonable property for our business object. So if you put that to true and invoice is false, so we'll check it. We'll see that we have a new clone object action. So if we go to invoice, there is no clone action here, but if we have in customer, we have it here, and we have it in list view and in detail view. The only difference is that in detail view, if we have a modify change, and in list view as well, but it's more evident here, the clone adjunct get disabled, so you always have to say before doing a clone. So if we do a clone, pretty much what it did, it new ID, but everything else stay the same, so you have a copy of your record that you can modify fairly quickly. So this is really handy for application where you have, for example, an invoice with a lot of products, with a lot of information on it, with a repetitive event that is happening every week, every month. So you are having to recreate the whole invoice once and again. And there is no need for that. With the clone action, you just clone the object, modify the two properties, anything you need, and you're good to go. So if you see here, we have now all our actions. So let's choose this one and let's put as a clone. And we'll have, as we had here before, a couple of records that are actually a clone of the one that we just execute the action on top of. So that's in a nutshell the clone model. That's it. You already have it implemented. One line and go to the model, enable it, boom, good to go. So what else can we do? So we can do a few customizations here. So if we check again the documentation real quick and we go to the, let's say the object view clone object view controller, we see that we have some events here. So if we do a custom clone, what does that mean? Every time that you clone a record, all the properties get cloned. It's exactly that. So, but what if you want, for example, one of the property to don't have the same value of the source? You want to change that one because you know that you always, every time that you clone that one, that property is gonna change. So you can do that with this event. What if you want, instead of showing the detailed views, just to get it added to the list view or not show any view at all? You can do that. So again, as always, let's see it in action. Let's create a new class. Actually, let's stop it for a second. Let's create a new class. And I have some code here that I was playing with, so we save some time and you don't have to see me typing all of this, but it's pretty straightforward. It will make sense in just a second. Let's add the namespaces. Okay, we're still missing and this one. So what are we doing here? So we have a controller that is in the customer, and in the unactivated is getting the clone object view controller, and we can, after we have it, we can start doing neat things. Let's say that only admins can have the clone object action enabled. So we check what is the current user, is the current user has the administrator role, and if it does, we enable, but if it does not, we disable it. And we can actually hook in through one of these events. The executing that happens before clone object action get executed, the custom show clone object and the custom clone object. So let's see what we're doing in each of these events. So let's say in the executing, this is before it gets executed, but we can actually put a self where, let's say we don't want to allow nothing to be cloned if it's missing the address or if it's missing anything from the customer. That's up to you. But let's say an address. So if that's the case, we just give a message to the user and we cancel the process of the clone action. What about if we don't want to show a detail view? We just want to add that property, that new record to the collection of the list view. So we go to the custom show clone object and we do it. And the way to stop the new generation of detail views, we set the e-handle to true. And what about if we already know that one of the properties will always change? So we go to the custom clock object and then we say always the active has to be true. Doesn't matter if it's false in the source object. So let's see it. Let's run it and let's see it in action. So first things first, if we open here and we delete the address, we try to clone, missing address, nothing happened, you couldn't clone, so that's working good. Second test, we are going to select one and we're going to put the active to false. We clone it, it's true. So this is the clone from YouTube, so you see it. So this one, it will set the active to true. And lastly, if we just select that one and we clone it, it should add it to the list view. So let's see why it's not doing it. Let's go to custom show here. Let's see what I'm missing here. Of course, we have to go to the model and we have to go to the list view and it have to be true because we need to set that one. This is one of the, let's see the code quickly. This is one of the things that we're checking here. So if we come back to it again, we clone it, get in there, boom, it added here. This is the one that we just did, clone YouTube 2. Let's do it again so we can see it. Clone it, take the private point out, YouTube 2, clone it, clone it, clone it, clone it, clone it. So really neat, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you next week with another XAF model API of the week. Thanks for watching.